Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my Sephora sale haul. I have quite a bit of products. Some of them are still on the way to me, so I might just throw those in on an overlay and just kind of let you know. But most of the products I do have here from same day deliveries and a couple things I bought before the sale. So I'm just gonna share with you what I picked up, tell you my thoughts if I've tried it, show you swatches, and give you my first impression. So if you're excited about this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. I will link everything that I share today down below in my description box, and let's go ahead and get into what I picked up during the sale. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with fragrance. I did pick up 4, I wanna say. 2 of them are not here yet, but I'll go over those briefly. The 2 that I do have is the Sol de Janeiro Agua Mystica Spray. So I originally was gonna get all 3, and then I realized that I just have so many products. I'm really trying to use up some of my sprays in particular, and I didn't wanna go over the top because I do feel like at some point, the Sol de Janeiro sprays kind of all smell very similar, but this one, Cheryl told me, was her favorite. So some of the notes are neroli water, tangerine, and salty skin accord. And I feel like this is exactly what it sounds like. It just has this really kind of like salty, musky, sweet scent, very beachy, very summer-like, but it does have that like aquatic vibe to it. I think it is really, really beautiful. And I did get the smaller size again, just because I have so many body sprays. I may eventually go in store and smell the other 2, but I didn't want to just blind buy them because I'm drowning in body sprays. And then I did also pick up a tried and true. This is the Killian Princess. This fragrance is something that I didn't think I would like. When I look at the notes, I see like ginger and tea, and I'm like, that sounds awful to me. But this just smells like a slightly spicy, musky kind of skin scent. It has this like warm, I would say almost like marshmallow, fluffy vibe, but sophisticated. So it's one of those that really does smell very warm, very sweet, skin-like, but it has a little bit of that spice, and I think it is from the ginger. I love this fragrance. I find that this one lingers really well too. Like if I spray this on my skin or my clothes, by the end of the day, I still smell it. And it's something that I have purchased multiple times, but this is my first time having the full-size bottle because we all know Killian is very pricey. And I did also pick up 2 more travel size fragrances. They're not here yet because they do have to ship ground, but I got the Ellis Brooklyn Guava Granita. So what really drew me in was banana. It says it has vanilla and banana in it. It's supposed to be a fruity floral with guava juice, banana, and vanilla. First of all, vanilla is one of my favorite key notes in fragrances, but banana, I'm a banana fanatic. I love banana anything, banana bread. I love banana Laffy Taffies. Give it to me, anything banana. I'm really hoping it's not too floral because they do say it is a fruity floral. I'm not really a floral type of girl, but it also says that it has like melon and mango. So I'm excited to get this one. I'm even seeing almond milk in here. So really excited to get this. I think it's going to be a beautiful scent, and I'm a huge fan of Ellis Brooklyn Sunfruit, so I'm hoping that I love this too. And then a little bit of a switch up. I've been watching this one and I decided just to get the travel size. This is Brown Girl Jane Casino. So this one has notes of espresso, golden rum cake, and almond foam. So this is supposed to be a coffee espresso gourmand, and I love a gourmand scent. The more foodie, the better. And it does have that golden rum cake note in there, which I think would give it that really like sweet, warm, but a little bit spicy sort of vibe. So I'm really excited to get this. When it gets here, I will show it in a video and give you my thoughts, but unfortunately the shipping is taking forever. Moving on to the makeup, I got some complexion products and I'm having a couple misses and a couple hits. So let's start off with a hit. I saw this Hourglass Illusion Priming Moisturizer and I immediately was like, I need this. If you've been following me for any amount of time, I have raved about their Vanish Airbrush Primer. It looks identical to this, which is my only complaint. I wish that they would have changed it because it does look literally identical unless you read this. But that primer is so smoothing and it is perfect perfect for controlling oil. So it seems like now they're coming out with the sister. So this is extremely, extremely hydrating. The texture is very unique. I'm gonna use the inside of my hand because I have self-tanner on right now. It's a whole thing, so I don't wanna mess up my self-tanner on my hands, but it comes out white and then it just really kind of blends out to this insanely like hydrating but thin moisturizer. It feels incredible. Like the texture is so thin, which I love because it's going to lay under your makeup nicely, but it has intense hydration. It is really like a texture I've not felt before, and it sits beautifully under makeup. I have worn it a couple times and I am in love with this. So if you have tried the original and you thought it was like too oil controlling, or you're just looking for a beautiful hydrating primer or moisturizer, but I'm telling you, get your hands on this. This is absolutely stunning. I did also pick up 2 skin tints, but I got these before the sale. I just wanted to share them and my thoughts. So this first one is the Milk Hydra Grip Gel Tint. I pretty much knew that I wasn't going to love this, and it was confirmed when I tried it. So I have the shade here 5, and I will put swatches over the screen. I just feel like this is such a thick and sticky formula. It feels like it kind of tugs when you're trying to blend it out. I will say the coverage is pretty good on this, but I just didn't like how heavy and sticky this felt. It did set okay with powder, but all day I just felt like my face looked a little bit heavy and gunky, and it just wasn't smoothing. It didn't make my skin look better. It actually made it look worse. So I feel like the people that are really loving this are those of you that have just like really dry skin. I do have dry leaning skin now, but I still feel like with my texture, I need something that's smoothing, and this just wasn't the most flattering, and I just didn't like the way it felt. And then I also picked up the Makeup Forever Super Boost Skin Tint. So this one, I thought the texture was nice, very thin. I just felt like this didn't have enough coverage for me personally. I need something that I can build up, like the Merit Minimalist Stick I really like, because I can build it up in certain places. This was more hydrating and thin, but I just felt like the coverage was really low for me. It didn't wear great either. It kind of looks splotchy, and I don't know if that's just because I have a lot of redness to cover. And the shade that I got, it actually is 04, very, very warm, almost leaning orange. Makeup Forever actually did send me PR of this after I purchased it, and I tried another shade, and again, it was just too warm for me. So overall, I just don't think that this is for me. I think there are better skin tints out there. Like recently, I'm loving the Wet n Wild skin tint. It is a throwback, but it is so good. I actually have that on today mixed with the L'Oreal Infallible. So I just think there are better options out there, and this really just didn't wow me, unfortunately. I did also pick up 2 concealers. One of them was a restock in a lighter shade, and then one of them was new to me. So I did get another of the ABH Magic Touch. I got the shade 3. I do think these run a little bit dark. I usually use 4. That is like my go-to, and that's what I'm wearing today. But I wanted something lighter for when I don't have a self-tan on, and I just love this formula. It has such great coverage, and it has like this really whipped, hydrating feel to it. It is very, very creamy. So this is a hidden gem. I did recommend this in my Sephora recommendations video, and I love this. So I wanted to get a lighter shade. And then I have a new concealer. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like I go back and forth. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. So I have the shade 1N. I did purchase this, and then Estee Lauder did send me PR, so I've tried a couple shades. This formula is probably a little bit too dry for me. I do have drier skin, especially now that I'm living in the country. We have propane. I think that really is like sucking the life out of my skin. I'm also getting older, and this just felt like powder dry down sort of feel. It just has that really like dry, matte, smooth texture. And I don't think that it is the most flattering if you have like dry flaking or issues under your eyes. I will say the one thing about this concealer is I don't feel like you would have to set it. And I always see people saying that, and I'm like, how? Because I immediately crease. This one does not crease really bad at all. Like I feel like it's one of the few that I could just tap out on my under eye and not put powder on. So I could see the allure of it if you're somebody that doesn't like to use powder on your under eye, but I'm somebody that just sets my face and I just feel like it looks a little bit heavy and a little bit dry and cakey. So I prefer a hydrating concealer, and there's just other ones that I reach for, although I still love the Double Wear foundation. So next we have to get into my favorite category, and the category that I bought the most products in, which is going to be blush. Say it with me, y'all. I am a blush fanatic. I knew I was gonna go crazy, and I did indeed. So we have some that I purchased before the sale, some during the sale, but I wanna kick it off with my beloved YSL. So YSL did drop one of their new shades. This is 06. I can't remember the actual name of it, but it is a matte formula. So this would be my 6th purchase of an YSL blush. Now this one has a really like neutral, everyday, peachy tone to it. I love this formula so much. It is so buttery and soft. It is pigmented, it blends beautifully, and they also have matte shades as well as satin shades. So I would say that if you like a neutral, like light peachy pink, you will love this. And even though it is matte, there's something really creamy about this formula. I just think this is absolutely beautiful. I did also pick up another matte powder blush, and I haven't tried this yet, but this is the Tower 28 Get Set Blurring Blush, and I got the shade Feliz Fresca, if I could get this open. So I had to go for the bright pink. This is just like my type of shade. These are supposed to be blurring. Now I will say, when I swatch these, very pigmented, and they do appear to be like very thin and matte. So I don't know how this is gonna go if you have dry skin and you have like dry flakes. I am dealing with like the driest cheeks ever. I was using jojoba oil, which was really helping, and then I got a massive breakout, like an awful cystic breakout. So now I'm like, oh, I'm kind of afraid to use the jojoba oil, but now that I've stopped the jojoba oil, my cheeks are now getting like flaky again. It's a whole thing, but I am a little bit nervous with this just because it is like so dry, but I do feel like it smooths and blurs on the skin just from the swatches. So I'm interested to try this out. It is one of the newer blushes, and Tower 28 did just send me the entire color range. So if I had known, I wouldn't have purchased it, but you know, I bought this before. And then I did also get another matte powder blush. This is from Urban Decay, and this is in Wholehearted. So I feel like this launch sort of was quiet. I didn't feel like a lot of people were talking about it, and I wanted to pick this up because a couple of you had said that this is a really good formula. So this one feels like a standard creamy matte blush, and this is a really pretty like light pink shade. So I feel like this I will probably get along with better just because I feel like it has that like creamy feel to it. And again, as I get older, my skin is like sucking every bit of moisture out possible. I did also pick up 2 shades of the new Say blushes. So these are the Super Suede Radiant blushes. So I actually was looking on TikTok trying to see people apply these, and I went for this really kind of like deep, rich shade. I want to say that Cheryl got this too, and I kind of was chuckling because we hadn't talked about it, but this is the shade Chow, and this is a really intense, rusty, burnt shade. I thought this would be stunning for the summertime, and these definitely do have a radiance to them. I am curious to see how they compare to the YSL or the Kosas. They have this like soft, baked sort of texture, but it's not a dry baked. I would say a little bit like creamier than the Kosas, and this shade is Amore. I need to stop buying like 5 of the literal same color. I'm just like drawn to those baby pink shades. So you can see here they both have a really thin texture. They're not powdery. Like even when you dip your finger in, powder is not dusting around, and they have a nice creaminess to them. So I'm most excited probably about Chow, just because I feel like it's gonna look so beautiful and like sun-kissed in the summertime. So I am excited to try those. All of these things I need to try, and like trying new makeup videos. There's just probably 700 blushes, and then other categories we have like nothing. So it's kind of hard to balance. But I did also get one more blush, and this you guys were asking me about. I initially got this on Nordstrom because I saw it pop up, but it is available now at Sephora, so you can get your discount. So these are the Luminous Silk Cheek Tints from Armani, but they're in the Radiant finish. So I am a huge fan of the Luminous Silk Cheek Tints. It's my favorite liquid blush ever. Like, I use it more than any other liquid blush. So these came out in the same shades, but they have a shimmer finish or a radiant finish. So this is the pink one, which is that bold pink, and I will put close-up swatches. So this one almost has like that purple kind of lilac iridescence. I've used this over powder and I felt like it really did blend fine. I just put it on my hand, kind of blended it together and then tapped it on. So I feel like when you put it under powder, it loses a little bit of that kind of radiance. So that would be my recommendation, is to lightly stipple over powder, but just use a light hand and don't just like draw it on. And then I also got the shade 50S. I think this is like the rosy peach, and I have this on today. I will say that these are definitely more sheer. They're kind of like a blush topper. I feel like the original shades are quite light and you have to build them up. So if you have a tan or deep skin tone, I don't know if these would be better suited as literally like a blush topper or a highlighter. I'm not seeing any chunks of glitter, and I am wearing the rosy peach shade on top of the matte today, and I feel like you just lose it a little bit when you put powder on top. So I want to do a trying new makeup soon and demo the pink one. I would have liked to see different shades just because I feel like they do look really similar. Like, I put on the rosy peach and then I put on the radiant on top, and it just was so subtle. I would have liked to see like different colorways, but I am excited about this launch and I do want to try more shades. I know I have a problem here. I did also pick up one palette that I wasn't anticipating getting, but I have to say that I saw Teresa is Dead use this palette and it was so beautiful. So NARS sent me PR, but they sent me, I think, the medium or the light shade, and I had to get this color. So this is new from NARS. I love the packaging, and this is called their Hot Escape Cheek Palette. I needed this blush and these highlighters. I have to say this palette is stunning, 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 stunning. So it has this gorgeous, like bright baby doll, like Dior kind of baby doll blush. And then you have two highlights, and these feel so soft and creamy, and they are gorgeous. So you have like a pinky highlight and then a champagne icy highlight, and then the bronzer in here is beautiful. So I think there are 3 or 4 different colorways of this palette, and like I said, they did send me the, I think, like lighter medium, but I feel like the blush in there was kind of more like NARS Orgasm. It just wasn't something really unique to my collection, but this is, especially from NARS, I love this. Like, I love all the shades in here. I will use all 4 shades in here, and I have already used this, and it is gorgeous. So if you were eyeing this, I really recommend picking this up. I think this is stunning, and I think it also is limited edition. Now, in terms of eyeshadow, I really just didn't see anything that was drawing my eye, but I did pick this up a little bit ago and I never got to use it. So I wanted to mention it because I haven't even shown you guys that I have this. So this is the Patrick Ta eyeshadow duo in Still at the Club. I have to say that this is so stunning, particularly this shade right here. I know there was a huge uproar over these, and me and Cheryl talked about this, and I was like, these prices are like insane for 2 shadows. So that's why I really didn't buy them at first, and then I ended up picking up this one. This has like a really pretty like taupey bronze sort of metallic, but then you have this like topper shade, and it is so pretty. I mean, it really is like this gunmetal shade, and this one feels creamier. I have since felt a few of these in store, and some of them were a little bit like dry, almost hard panned. This one feels creamy. It doesn't feel hard panned, and I would say out of all the ones that I swatched, this one was the only one that I feel like has that wow factor. So I did want to mention this. I haven't been able to use it on camera yet, but I have worn it and it is gorgeous. Particularly this shade, I do think the price is insane. I feel like a lot of the prices right now are just out of control, but this one, if you're gonna pick up any of them, would be the one that I would recommend. Moving on to lips, I did get quite a few products. I know we're not surprised. So a repurchase for me was the Makeup by Mario lip liner in Travis. I love this formula. It is one of my favorites. The colors are stunning, and this is my most used color. I have another one that is like really small. It's about to be out completely. So this is the shade here. It's just the most perfect brown shade. I love that you have this smudger on the end that you can smudge, and I find that this is a really creamy formula without being too creamy. It wears beautifully, it wears all day. So I wanted to get another one while I could get the discount. And then another repurchase, I did get this before the sale, but Summer Fridays came out with their birthday cake butter bomb, and this was something that people loved. I think it was like limited edition a year ago maybe, so they brought it back, and this is the only shade that has that like shimmery finish. Now this does smell incredible like a birthday cake, but it has this really pretty like light reflecting pinky peach reflect in it, and it just is so pretty. Highly recommend this shade in particular. I don't think that Summer Fridays is the most hydrating lip mask on the market, but it's more of a daytime thing for me because of the shimmer. I just think it looks really beautiful, and it's nice for when I'm on the go. I did also get sucked into the YSL lip oil craze. I feel like everybody was raving about these. I wasn't gonna get them once I heard that they were plumping. I really just don't love that texture or that feel, but I did end up getting the shade 03. I think it's called Mallow Mallow, and this has a really big doe foot, very similar to a lot of other brands. It has kind of an interesting scent. I would say it smells like their Rouge Volupté balms, which I like, but I think because it does have the plumping, there's a little bit of a kind of like spicy scent in there, which isn't my favorite. Now this shade has a little bit of pigment, and I feel like it's a really nice like glossy formula. When I say plumping, I would say it does definitely tingle, but it's not as bad as like the Too Faced like lip injection or anything like that. If you can handle a little bit of plump, let's say like more than the Patrick Ta, but less than the Too Faced, you may like this. First impression is I really like it. The scent isn't my favorite, and I wish it didn't have plump, but other than that, it's a really nice formula. And then I also got this gloss from Armani, and this is in the shade 09. This color just looked so pretty. This texture is more of like a gel, but it has this really beautiful shift to it. And I'm gonna put some close-ups on the screen, and it just is so stunning and high shine. I'm gonna apply maybe a little bit. I don't want to go too much, but it has that like really beautiful like coral neon. So this shade just totally sucked me in, and I had to have it. So that's all for the makeup, but I want to get into like tools, hair care, and stuff like that. So I did end up getting another of the F4 brush from Makeup by Mario. This is such a beautiful brush. It is really perfect for doing your cream products. You can use this for foundation, concealer, blush, bronzer. I just love this. I think I now have like 3 of these, and I just think this is a stunning brush. It is one of those that I feel like it's just great for travel too, just because it's like a 2-in-1. Kind of reminds me of like 2 BK Beauty 109s. So I love this. I wanted another one. And then similarly, I did pick up this CL. This is a brush duo, and it says on here cream and then powder. So it is similar to the Makeup by Mario, but more densely packed. And this side sort of has that like Rare Beauty kind of like stipple edge. So I am intrigued to try this. I have tried a few products from CL, but I haven't used any of their brushes. But I do like the convenience of having 2-in-1. It's just less to store. And I find that I reach for these a lot because a lot of the times when I'm doing my cream bronzer and cream blush, it's kind of like a 2-in-1 for me. Moving on to skincare, I have 2 products that I purchased, and then I have 1 body care product. So I did get 2 more products from Astera. I think that's how you say it, Astera. I think this is a K-beauty brand. I am loving their skincare. So this is the Hydro Soothing Cream. It's supposed to strengthen the skin barrier, and they say this is good for rosacea, which I have. So all of these have a different texture. This one kind of has a really thick gel texture, but it's very, very soothing and hydrating. If you have dry skin, but you're worried about breakouts, I have really loved this brand just because they don't have a ton of fragrance in them and they feel so soothing on the skin. And then I did also get their Ado Barrier Lotion. So this is for dry and sensitive skin, and it's just their moisturizing lotion. I actually have this on under my foundation today, and this one comes out more like a gel lotion. I would say this one is more gel-like, whereas this one is kind of in the middle, but it just feels so hydrating. There's no fragrance and it lays beautifully under makeup. I love hydrating products that don't have fragrance, and I like the ones that are thin so they sit well under my makeup but give me hydration. So this is my third product from this brand and I've loved all of them. And then I did splurge, you guys. I had some people commenting, so I had to do it. I got the Patrick Ta Major Glow Body Cream. First of all, we like to call this a weapon. This is like, don't come at me in a back alley because I will knock you out. You know what I'm saying? This is huge. But beyond that, this smells so good. So I just got this. I haven't even felt the texture. Okay, it is one of those like really thick textures, very whipped, and it has that like glycerin sort of slide. I love the scent of this. It's very light. And a lot of you guys were telling me that it just smelled incredible and felt incredible. So I'm excited to try this on the skin, but I love the scent. It's very light, kind of like a bergamot, fresh sort of like skin scent. So I'm really excited to try this because I was worried that it just wasn't gonna give me anything special, but I think the scent alone is like kind of fresh out of the shower skin scent, which I absolutely love. And then let's move on to hair care. So I have a couple products that I purchased. I did end up getting the Kerastase Genesis Serum. Now, Cheryl recommended this, but a lot of people did. This is supposed to be something that helps with breakage and growing your hair and hair loss. So I don't really have hair loss, but I have breakage because I bleach my hair. It's annoying. It's just kind of like what I have to deal with. But I get breakage around my hairline from like having my hair pulled back, doing slick back styles. And it really sucks because I love having my hair out of my face, but I'm trying to not do any slick backs because it breaks my hair off. Like I'm going through a whole struggle. So I've been using this, I want to say for like 5 nights now. You do need 4 droppers, so you do need a lot. The texture is very thin and watery, so I don't feel like it makes me greasy or oily. My only complaint other than the price is the scent. It is very strong. And I asked Cheryl and she said she didn't really notice it. I noticed it. It's like men's cologne, very, very strong. So if you're sensitive to scents, be wary of that. But other than that, I'm excited to see if it helps. Everybody's raving about it, so I fell for that. And then I did get the Verb Hydrate Leave-In Conditioner. I love the Hydrate Oil. I did recommend that in my recommendations. So this is just a leave-in conditioner. It's supposed to really detangle, defrizz, and just really condition the hair. And I'm really trying to baby my hair. So I've been liking this so far. Really anything from Verb I love just because it's not like overly harsh or heavy. They have a lot of products that are good for my fine hair. And then a repurchase. This one hurt because it's pricey, but I did end up getting the Olaplex No. 3 mask and I got the big size. I love this. I also love the K18 leave-in. This is different because it's a mask. So you put it on your hair that is wet and you let it sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and it really does help repair and strengthen your hair. So this is something I've used for years and I just ran out of the small size. And this is really something I would use like once a week. And I do feel like it helps just keep my hair strong and it helps with breakage. The K18 is a lot easier to use because you just put it in your hair after the shower and then you don't have to worry about it. This is more of like a mask treatment when I really want to do self-care. And I just ran out of it and I was like, you know what? I need to bite the bullet. So that is everything that I picked up for the sale. I have a couple other things actually now that I'm thinking about it that aren't here yet. So I did get the Way St. Bart's leave-in conditioner. I love that scent. It's like beachy, it's stunning, and they didn't have it in stock at my store, so I had to order it. So it will be here soon. And then I did also get a Davines or Davines. I don't know how to say it. That's another hair care brand I love. I did get this like silver conditioner. I had seen somebody leave a review and say that it was like perfect at toning blonde hair. So I have high hopes for that. That brand is very pricey, but I have really loved the products I have from them. So I will link everything that I shared today down below in my description box. The sale does go until the 14th, so we still have a few days, but just wanted to show you guys what I picked up and give you my initial thoughts. But let me know what you've picked up, what has been your favorite, what maybe you want to pick up and you're eyeing. I always love to hear from you guys in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. As always, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.